Hello folks, Jason Chrisman, JC's Bees, your Central Ohio beekeeper. Yesterday I was brush hogging and I got a call from my mail lady saying she had a huge box and she would really appreciate it if I could meet her sometime sooner in the day and get this box out of her vehicle. It was making it a little bit cumbersome to deliver all of her other mail because the box was so big. So I ended up around lunchtime, I came home to eat and got me a sandwich, and I ran and met the mail lady. And she did. She had a great big box. This is the stuff that was in it. Kind of crazy for as big as the box was, but that's how it is. And I was surprised. I got a package from Blythewood Bee Supply. Scott Derrick sent me this stuff up, and I appreciate it, Scott. Scott seen last week in my video when I installed the double Ross round frames in my Hoover hive. The Hoover hives I'm using with my Pagmr wood hive upgrade kit. I like the two really well together. But anyway, I was short one frame last week, and Scott seen that I had to stick in a deep frame to keep the bees from drawing out some burn combs. So let's flash back on that a little bit, refresh everybody's memory exactly what I'm talking about here. Check this out. So these are the frames I was telling you about from Ceracell. Very excited to experiment with these, see how well they do. Now this isn't really nothing too out of the ordinary. The only real difference here is that they're deep frames versus the normal shallow frames that the Ross rounds are. I do have some concerns though with this extra space over here. So I'm going to see if I can get a regular frame, deep frame, to take that space up. Okay, so we've got a deep frame here of drawn comb. Perfect. Otherwise, they're going to draw some nasty burr comb over there, and I don't really want that. So now you can see why Scott thought, well, I better just send him up another frame. Blythewood is one of the places that carries the Ceracell beekeeping supplies, and that would be these frames. So what I want to do real quick is I want to get this assembled here this morning and have it ready to install this afternoon before the rain gets here. And then real quick, like, I want to go ahead and share what's in this other box that Scott sent up. Now if I bring it in real close to you, you can see it says Ceracell Queen Rearing Kit. Here's what it contains. You get one of these fancy dials, and I've always wanted one of these. I just didn't want to spend the 20-some bucks to purchase one. Well, it just so happens it's included in the Queen Rearing Kit from Ceracell. And if we look at it here, the way this works is you take the numbers on the outside circle, and that is the day of the month. So today is August 5th. So if we were to graft today, we would put grafting from the center on the 5th, and it's going to lay everything out and tell us how the cells are developing, when they're going to be ready and emerging on the 17th. So a lot of information can be gained from this little honeybee dial, and it's got some information on the back. Very, very cool little device to have. Down inside the box, these don't actually go with this kit. These go with these frames. Okay, so the rest of the stuff in here is included with this kit. And what you're going to get is you're going to get some grafting frames. And I'll show you a closer look here after I get them out of the box. Okay, so we've got 4 grafting frames. And if you're familiar with grafting, then these don't look a whole lot different. One thing you may notice is that these cell bars are aluminum. Comes with a bag of grafting cups, and it comes with 2 grafting tools. Now, if you follow these beekeeping videos, it's all over YouTube. The California beekeeper just spoke about these in Castle High's video. And he likes the Chinese grafting tool just as much as I do, but he prefers the bamboo grafting tool. So it comes with both of them. You get the one with the plastic tongue and the one with the bamboo tongue. As far as the cell cups, So you're gonna get this bag, and I'm not sure how many's in it. I'm gonna guess there's probably 100 of them in there. Grafting cups. Down here's where you would graft into on this end. And then to put them in your cell bar, you can see how they're kind of rectangle. They're more long this way than they are wide this way. So what you do is you set them down in this slot, and then you just give them a turn all the way across. Set it down in, give it a turn. To take them out, you just give it a slight turn and it pulls right out. Pretty darn cool. Now there is no difference in any of these frames. They are all the same. The reason there is 4 is so you could raise 4 different batches at a time. So there you go. If you're interested in this kit, you can get it from Blythewood Bee Supply. And it does contain all the essentials you need to start grafting. So what I would like to do now is bring you in a little closer. Let's throw this double round Ross frame together and have it ready for this afternoon when I go in and install it in the hive. Okay, so here are our frame ends. Here's the 2 pieces we're going to be working with. And in here I have more goodies to put this all together. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to snap these 2 parts apart. Make it 2 pieces, just like so. Slide this stuff out of the way. We're going to take our circles, we're going to put in here. I do want to mention, when you assemble these, there is 2 sides to this. One side is completely flat. The other side has little notches in it. Where you're going to notice, if you look around the edge and you follow it around, you've got this higher section right here, and then it drops back down. There's 2 of these higher sections. There's one on this side and there's one on this half. When you put it down into the frame itself, those higher parts go over here and over here. So you can see I've got the higher part with the notch. Just like so. So I'm going to do that real quickly with all of these. Okay, and then we'll take a piece of foundation. I'm going to lay it right there like that. Now what these white liners do is, when you remove this round section of comb, if you didn't have this white liner in here, the comb would be attached to the frame itself and you would not be able to remove it without tearing it all up. So you do need these liners in these frames. So don't think you're going to get away with not using them. Okay. So we want to make sure we have both of the frame tops pointing the same direction. And if we look closely here, I've got the ears of the frame towards the top. I'll lay that back on there. And now we're just going to lock it all together. Just like so. And then what I'll do is I'll take a knife and I'll cut off any excess foundation here at the bottom. But that's what it'll look like. So let's do the other one real quick. Lay down our foundation. In which I do want to say, when you use these frames, they do make a Pacific thinner foundation, so you don't have a thick chunk of wax right in the center of your round comb. So now we'll line these back up and snap it together, just like so. Now I'll take my knife and we'll trim off this extra. Trim off the extra on this one. Trim off the extra on this side. And the extra on this side. Now you wouldn't want to leave that there because the bees could potentially draw comb off of that. So you wouldn't want a comb on the outside of these. So make sure you clean up all the comb sticking out, or the foundation. Okay, now that we've got all that cleaned up, we can throw this in our wax pile, our wax bucket. So now what I want to do is show you how to put on the frame ends. And that's going to make them all one piece, both of these. So it'll look like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the bottom. And I do want to point out that in order to put these together, you want the frame ends on opposite sides. So you can see I've got one of the frame ends ears here and one here. Normally those would be at the top together and set in the hive like so. But we're going to reverse them and make them opposite of each other. And we're going to do, you can notice this little slot in the bottom, that's where the ear on the frame is going to go into. But we're going to start by putting it on the bottom of the frame, like so. And then it's going to fold on around, and the ear is going to snap into that little hole. We'll do the same thing on the other end. Like so. And now the top will just drop down in there like so. And that's how they go together, folks. So, after it warms up a little bit, I will be dropping this in the Hoover hive, the Apiary setup. Okay, folks, the sun has broke out. It has warmed up. We're pushing about 86 degrees right now. I know I'm sweating bullets right this minute, so we're going to make this quick. We're going to smoke the colony. Everyone a drone. I'll throw my veil on here real quick, and we're going to check out adding this frame to this colony. I did forget to bring my hive tool, so we'll use my backup hive tool, which is my pocket knife. Well, I guess it's a good thing I'm in here, because the only frame in the top that I see bees on is this frame that I added to take up space. Oh, they're eating the bee bread that's stored in the frame. So now what we'll do is we'll place in our double Ross comb frame, which what I may have to do is slide everything to the one side. There we go. There we go. Thanks to Blythewood Bee Supply, we now have a full box. So we'll throw this back on and close it back up. Short and sweet. You can see that bee bread, or the pollen that they stored in the frame, or the last colony stored in this frame. And then when I gave it to these bees, they decided they wanted to eat some of it. So that tells me there's not a whole lot of pollen coming in right now. And I'm going to stick this back in my box for storage. So that's it. I got that frame added to the colony. Now if they do decide to draw out some comb and maybe store a little bit of honey, I'll have some Ross rounds to sell. And I'll keep you all posted on how that process goes. So follow along if that's something you're interested in. You know, it's weird. Usually at this time of year, we're struggling to have any kind of a nectar flow. And that really hasn't been the case this year. And I guess it's because we've had pretty much weekly rains for the last month. It's really been unreal, to tell you the truth. There is a few flowers that you'll see out there right now for the bees to work. The Joe Pye weed is blooming. The yellow wing stem is blooming. Joel weed is blooming in different areas. So, and there's the yard clover. If your yard's anything like mine, you've got a lot of yard clover. And I've also got the smartweed, as we all know. Look at this. Look at that. All that smartweed. I'm working on getting rid of it slowly. Look at that. Bees do work it, but you know, for no more than I see them work it, I'm not worried about getting rid of it. I'd rather have my yard back than all this crap. Look at that. Within minutes, I pulled all that out. So just to do a little follow-up on that, you remember I just did a video on spraying my yard with 2,4-D. And you can see some of the spots here where I've sprayed. I actually went and Royal King had their 15-gallon ATV sprayer and for sale, or on sale for 50 bucks. And I went and bought that just to make this job a lot easier. Look at that. That's nothing but beautiful green grass right there. Not one single piece of smartweed in it anymore. Sure, there's some brown here, and that's where the smartweed was. Look at that. It's horrible. All of this was just smartweed. If we look at it though, you can see smartweed, well, it's not really much of anything anymore. So what I need to do now is probably get in here and rake this up so we can get down to the soil. Look at that. And broadcast some seed. And I need to be doing that soon while we have these rains and this warmer weather. That'll get the grass to sprout really quick. But I noticed up here the other day, somewhere, right here, there's some baby grass coming in. So that tells me that the seed bank and the soil has some grass seed in it. Baby grass. So I don't know. What do you think? Should I rake it or should I leave it alone and see if baby grass comes up? Or I guess not baby grass. See if grass comes up on its own. What do you think? Yeah, I guess that is enough to probably choke out some good grass seed. Leave your thoughts down below, folks. Thanks for watching this week. If you have any questions or comments about anything I said this week, leave them down below. Huge shout out to Scott Deerick from Blythewood. Thanks for sending that stuff up to me. I'll leave links down below over to Blythewood. If anybody is interested in the stuff I showed, you can go directly there and get it on order. Thanks for watching. Keep cool. Stay safe in these storms. And we'll see you next Sunday. Bye.